Well, while many questions remain, the Browns still have plenty of competition going at their OTAs. Players saying that they feel a new energy and feel to this team, trying to focus on their job at hand while minimizing the outside noise, mainly the latest with Deshaun Watson. Watson now facing a 23rd civil lawsuit. The latest suit was filed Tuesday, accusing the former Houston Texans quarterback of sexual misconduct during a massage session back in 2020. Watson previously denied any wrongdoing. The NFL still looking into whether Watson violated the league's player conduct policy. But we have a crew on site in Ohio. Head coach Kevin Stefanski, he spoke to that group earlier this afternoon.
We'll see how all of that plays out. And it's, for us, we're just trying to take information as it comes. When it comes to backup quarterbacks, I just mentioned AVP, it's really, really helpful having a coordinator that has been a backup quarterback in the NFL. He understands the quarterback position, of course, but really understands backup quarterbacks and how they operate. So we'll see how it plays out, but with backups, they have to be ready to play with 0 reps. Sometimes you get 0 reps, and that's the name of the game. Sometimes you get to prepare for a game that you know you're starting, and you have some head time to develop and those type of things. But I'd particularly tell you AVP does a great job with that quarterback room because of his experience as a backup.
Lean on Baker in that situation.
Yeah, again, with all those type of questions, it's really just take information day by day.
Well, I mentioned that outside noise, and there's plenty of it. To help us make sense of it all, let's welcome in Josina Anderson coming to us from Browns OTAs. We're going to start with Deshaun Watson. So Watson now facing that 23rd civil lawsuit. A lot of questions, obviously, surrounding him. What is being said there?
Well, it's very interesting because obviously a lot of news kind of went off yesterday with the revelation of this 23rd lawsuit by Ms. Nia Smith, as you mentioned, coming into this. And I would just say, first and foremost, just being an observer out here for practice, which just concluded about an hour ago, you couldn't tell by watching practice. You couldn't tell by watching Deshaun Watson. He looks very much comfortable and assimilated into this offense with regards to just taking over at the helm. But nonetheless, you know, the questions were asked of head coach Kevin Stefanski after practice with whether he had any reaction. And Stefanski said that he just wanted to let the legal process play out. And when he was asked whether he continues to be comfortable with Kevin Stefanski's situation, and I know the media member who was asking that, really just hearkening to the questions that was asked of this staff during Deshaun Watson's introductory press conference. They were pinned a lot on whether they were comfortable with his situation. That is why Stefanski said that they will lean on the research that they previously had done on Watson to make the decision to just not only bring him here, but to give him a 5-year, $230 million contract. But interestingly, Myles Garrett, who I'll be talking to in a few here as well, was also asked about how he feels. Myles was asked how he feels Deshaun Watson will handle it, and not only that, but if he's comfortable with his character. And I thought he gave a very good answer, because what he said was that no one really knows, you know, what happened, and pretty much that all he can account for with Deshaun Watson is the fact that he's out here, he's a good football player, and his availability, and whether he will be here for the regular season and which games potentially he will not be. So that's what's getting said here. The last thing I would just add to that is, just in talking to sources before even coming out here for practice, I was basically just told that, you know, listen, from their perspective and the person that I was talking to, there's nothing new here. There's no added insights. I think they're just speaking to the fact that Ms. Smith is not a new complainant in this situation. Obviously, there were items in the lawsuit that were filed in her 3 encounters where, you know, we could sit up here and have a back and forth about that. But relative to their response and their connection to this organization, that's what was said.
All very important information there, Josina. And as you mentioned, Stefanski was speaking earlier, talking about the importance of having those backups as well to be ready just in case whatever comes down with this situation. I want to keep it with the quarterbacks. And quarterback Baker Mayfield not attending voluntary OTAs as expected. It seems like it's only a matter of when and not if Baker is headed out of the Browns door. What's the latest you're hearing in regards to Mayfield?
Well, to me, this is a very fascinating situation because obviously Baker Mayfield was among the players not at Browns practice today, which we expect. But the interesting part about this is that the Browns mandatory camp is coming up June 14th through the 16th. So the big question is, will Baker be here? Will he not be here? And when you think about how the Browns also handled last year Odell Beckham Jr.'s situation and giving him an excused absence, it'll be interesting to see what happens in Baker's situation. For everything that I understand, Baker is willing to be professional about the situation. We'll go more into that as we count down the days towards that camp. But you have a little bit of a quandary here. On one hand, Deshaun Watson is potentially facing, though no official determination has been made with regards to discipline, an extended suspension potentially. And so if that is the case, when you analyze the Browns quarterback depth situation, you have a quarterback in Jacoby Brissett, who obviously they have a lot of faith in. Matter of fact, I was told that he is regarded as one of the best number 2 quarterbacks, in the league. But yes, he has experience going from the Patriots to the Colts and to here. But if something were to happen to Jacoby Brissett, Joshua Dobbs, though they obviously have confidence in him, has never started a game in the National Football League. And so that also presents a very interesting situation if something were to happen to Jacoby. And so what do you do with Baker? Do you keep him on for that? Are you concerned if he could get injured because you potentially have to trade him and you have to keep his value up in order to have high return compensation? Those are all very interesting questions for the Browns as we head to more towards the offseason program, mandatory camp and training camp and the regular season.
Yeah, all eyes definitely on the Browns quarterback situation, and it's going to be one of those wait to see how it all plays out. Now you're there. Give me any takeaways that you can sense from today. Is there anything newsworthy that you want to share with us?
Well, I just think first and foremost, I would say was just the reaction to Deshaun Watson really having an extended time out here in practice before the media. I overheard media members talking about how accurate he looked, how the ball was just popping out of his hands, how people are reacting to him. Sources before I came out here, just talked about the fact that it's a new energy when you consider that big pieces to the offense are not here, and Baker, Jarvis, Odell, that's a whole different group of main offensive pieces that you have to get used to. And the fact that I'm told that they're slowing things down because this is Kevin Stefanski's 3rd year, kind of having to go back to square one to get Deshaun Watson, fully on board, and also Jacoby Brissett. And then I just think lastly, when it comes to the Baker Mayfield situation and obviously waiting for Deshaun Watson and what is going on, the impression I get is that they, everything is just wanting to kind of be kept tight, and things will become more revealed as they have to be with mandatory camp coming up, and we'll just kind of have to wait and see with that. But very interesting, especially post the HBO interview and in light of the new lawsuit. What the potential determination from the league will be. But obviously we want to underline that no criminal indictment has come before Deshaun Watson, and he continues to deny all allegations.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.